Have you ever pondered over the profoundness hidden in a grain of sand, or the immensity contained within a tiny flower? Today, we embark on a journey to understand reality, guided by the wisdom of the great poet William Blake. In his words, seeing a world in a grain of sand is not merely a poetic expression. It is a metaphor that invites us to explore the vastness and complexity of our existence in the simplest of forms. This grain of sand, seemingly insignificant, holds within it an entire world. It carries the story of time, the dance of elements, and the secret of creation. It's a tangible reminder of the cosmos's grandeur, captured in a speck so small, yet so profound. As we delve deeper into this exploration, we'll uncover how each grain of sand, each wildflower, mirrors the very essence of our reality. The grain of sand is not just a tiny particle, it is a microcosm of the entire universe, if only we have the eyes to see it. Imagine holding infinity in the palm of your hand. What does that feel like? As we embark on this thought experiment, we are immediately confronted by the limitations of our human understanding. Our minds, as marvelous as they are, struggle to fully grasp the concept of infinity. Yet it's a concept that permeates our reality, from the infinite expanse of the universe to the endless potential of human creativity. Infinity is a notion that transcends the physical and the measurable. It's a concept that defies our understanding of beginnings and endings, of boundaries and limits. It's the endless line that stretches out in both directions, the circle with no starting point or end, the limitless potential that exists in each and every moment. It's the paradox of the infinitely large and the infinitely small existing simultaneously, a concept that challenges our perception of scale and proportion. Our human experience is bound by time and space, by the finite and the measurable. We count the hours in a day, the years in a lifetime, the miles between 2 points. But infinity is uncountable, unmeasurable. It's beyond our grasp, yet it's right there in the palm of our hand. It's the endless possibilities in a single moment, the boundless potential in each one of us. And what does this mean for our understanding of reality? It suggests that reality is more complex and vast than our human minds can fully comprehend. It hints at dimensions of existence beyond our human experience, realms of reality that transcend our understanding of time and space. It challenges us to question our assumptions, to expand our thinking, to embrace the mystery and the wonder of existence. Infinity, then, is not a number, but a state of being, a dimension of reality beyond our usual understanding. It's a concept that invites us to look beyond the finite, to explore the boundless expanse of potential and possibility. It's a reminder of our place in the grand scheme of things, a tiny speck in the vastness of infinity. It's a call to embrace the infinite potential within each of us, to hold infinity in the palm of our hand. Can you envisage a moment stretching out to eternity? Time. It's a concept as old as existence itself. When we think of time, we often view it as a linear progression of events, a sequence of past, present, and future. But what if we could challenge that? What if we could hold eternity within an hour? It's a provocative idea, isn't it? One that shakes the very foundation of our understanding of reality. Yet, it's not as far-fetched as you might think. In fact, it's an idea that has been explored by some of the greatest minds in history. The concept of experiencing eternity within an hour challenges our standard understanding of time. It suggests that time is not just a measure of duration, but rather a dimension of reality that we are yet to fully comprehend. It suggests that time is not just a ticking clock, but a vast and complex landscape that we can navigate in ways we never thought possible. This idea takes us into the realm of the abstract, the metaphysical. It opens up a whole new perspective on reality. Imagine, if you will, a moment that feels like an eternity, a moment where time seems to stand still, where every second is filled with infinite possibilities. This is not just a poetic notion, it's a philosophical exploration of our understanding of existence. It's a scientific inquiry into the nature of reality. It's a challenge to our preconceived notions about the world in which we live. So, how can we experience eternity within an hour? It starts with a shift in perspective. It requires us to step outside of our usual frame of reference and to see the world in a new light. It calls for a willingness to question, to explore, to seek understanding beyond the surface. We may never fully grasp the complexity of time, We may never fully understand the depth of reality, but by daring to question, by daring to explore, we can catch a glimpse of eternity, even if just for an hour. Time, then, is not just a measure of duration, but a dimension of reality that we are yet to fully comprehend. What if reality is not what it seems, but merely a product of our perception? A question that might lead us down the rabbit hole of the philosophy of perception. Indeed, our understanding of reality is profoundly shaped by our perception, by the way we interpret the world around us through our senses and cognitive processes. Let's consider a simple example. Imagine a rose, its color, its scent, its texture. These qualities do not exist in the rose itself, but are created by our senses. The rose absorbs and reflects certain wavelengths of light. Our eyes perceive these wavelengths as color. The rose emits certain molecules. Our nose perceives these molecules as scent. The rose has a certain shape and texture. Our skin perceives these as softness and thorniness. In essence, the rose as we know it is a creation of our perception. The same is true for everything else we perceive in the world. Everything we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch is a construct of our senses and cognitive processes. But our perception is not just a passive receiver of information, it is also an active interpreter. Our brains don't just record sensory information, they interpret it. They give it meaning based on our past experiences, our knowledge, our emotions, our expectations. This interpretation shapes our perception of reality. It can make us see things that are not there, or miss things that are. It can make us perceive a threat where there is none, or ignore a threat that is real. It can make us see a world in a grain of sand, or a heaven in a wildflower. So what is reality then? Is it the external world as it exists independent of our perception? Or is it the world as we perceive and interpret it? Or is it perhaps a combination of both? Our perception, then, is not just a passive receiver of information, but an active constructor of reality. And if that's the case, then reality is not just what exists out there, but also what exists in here, in our minds, in our perception. A fascinating thought, isn't it? Scene script. Have you ever considered that the universe might not be out there, but within you? This idea might seem far-fetched, yet it's a profound concept that has been contemplated by philosophers, poets, and scientists alike. The universe within us, a metaphorical expanse that mirrors the physical cosmos in its vastness and complexity. The universe within is not made up of galaxies, stars, and planets, but of thoughts, emotions, and consciousness. It is an intricate network of ideas, experiences, and emotions that shape our perception of reality. Every thought we have, every emotion we feel, contributes to the construction of our inner universe. Consider your thoughts. They are not merely ephemeral whispers of the mind. They are powerful forces, capable of creating worlds, challenging realities, and shaping destinies. They are the stars of your inner universe, illuminating your path and guiding your journey. Then, there are your emotions. They are the celestial bodies that orbit your thoughts, each with its own gravitational pull. Joy, sorrow, anger, love, fear. They give color to your universe, introducing elements of unpredictability and dynamism. The universe within is not a static entity, but a constantly evolving one. It expands and contracts with every experience, every interaction, every moment of introspection. It's a universe that is uniquely yours, a reflection of your individuality. Our consciousness is the space in which this universe exists. It is the dark matter that binds together our thoughts and emotions, giving them form and substance. It is the lens through which we interpret reality and the canvas on which we paint our subjective experiences. And just as the physical universe has its mysteries, so does the universe within. It invites us to explore its depths, to understand its complexities, to marvel at its vastness. It challenges us to question our perceptions, to embrace our uniqueness, and to recognize the power of our thoughts and emotions. The universe, then, is not just an external entity, but an internal landscape that we navigate every day. This is not to diminish the awe-inspiring grandeur of the physical universe, but to remind us of the equally fascinating universe that resides within us. A universe that we carry with us wherever we go, shaping and being shaped by our experiences and perceptions. So what then is reality? A question as old as time itself, yet the answer remains as elusive as ever. Let's take a moment to recap what we've been exploring in our journey so far. We started by seeing a world in a grain of sand, discovering that the minutiae of existence can mirror the grandeur of the cosmos. This idea challenged our perception of scale and showed us that everything, no matter how small, is part of the larger whole. Next, we held infinity in the palm of our hand, grappling with the concept of boundlessness within our finite grasp. This juxtaposition of the infinite and the finite opened our eyes to the infinite possibilities that exist within our limited human experience. Then, we contemplated eternity in an hour, delving into the fluidity of time. We discovered that our perception of time is subjective and can expand or contract, much like the universe itself. We also explored the reality of perception, acknowledging that the world as we perceive it is not an accurate reflection of objective reality, but a construct of our minds. This brought us to the realization that reality is deeply personal and unique to each individual. Finally, we looked within ourselves to find a universe, understanding that the external world is a reflection of our internal state. This led us to the profound realization that we are not just passive observers in the universe, but active participants shaping our own reality. So here we are, at the intersection of perception, time, space, and consciousness, grappling with the nature of reality. It is not a static, unchanging entity, but a complex interplay of these elements, constantly evolving and defying conventional understanding. It is an intricate dance of creation and perception, a symphony of existence played out on the canvas of the cosmos. Reality, then, is not a fixed entity, but a dynamic, ever-evolving phenomenon that defies our conventional understanding. It is a riddle wrapped in a mystery, and unlocking it is the ultimate quest of human existence. Understanding reality, then, is a matter of perspective, a journey rather than a destination. It's a voyage through the vast cosmos within a speck of dust, the expanse of time within a fleeting moment. And in this journey, we are both the voyagers and the terrain, the explorers and the explored. The complexity of reality is not something to be feared or simplified, but embraced. It's like a labyrinth of thoughts and experiences, an intricate dance of paradoxes and probabilities. Each twist and turn, each step forward or backward reveals a new facet of what we perceive as reality. It's not a riddle to be solved, but a symphony to be listened to, a poem to be pondered upon. There's a beauty in ambiguity, a richness in the unknown. It's the blank spaces between the words, the silent pauses in a melody, the shadows dancing at the edge of the light. They add depth and texture to our understanding. They make reality more interesting, more alive. And so we must continue to question, to explore. Each question is a step forward, each exploration a leap into the unknown. We must not be content with what we know, but thirst for what we don't. We must not be satisfied with what we see, but yearn for what we can't. We must not be afraid of the dark, but eager for the dawn. We must understand that reality is not a fixed entity, but a fluid continuum. It's not a solid rock, but a flowing river. It's not a static picture, but a dynamic movie. It's not a single note, but a complex harmony. It's not a solitary island, but a vast ocean. We must also understand that reality is not just out there, but also in here. It's not just the world around us, but also the world within us. It's not just the physical, but also the mental. It's not just the tangible, but also the intangible. It's not just the seen, but also the unseen. So keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the journey to understanding reality is as infinite and eternal as reality itself. As we conclude this philosophical journey into understanding reality, let's take a moment to reflect on the ground we've covered. We began by contemplating a world within a grain of sand, a concept so mesmerizing it challenges our conventional perception of scale and significance. We then held infinity in our hands, exploring the boundless prospects of our universe and our place within it. We proceeded to grasp eternity within an hour, a notion that provokes us to question the nature of time and our perception of it. We explored the reality of perception, acknowledging that our reality is fundamentally shaped by how we perceive the world around us. We ventured into the universe within us, understanding that the microcosm within mirrors the macrocosm without. We delved into the nature of reality, recognizing that reality is not merely what we see or touch, but more importantly, what we understand and interpret. Finally, we endeavored to understand reality itself, a task as daunting as it is enlightening, pushing the boundaries of our knowledge and comprehension. This journey has been an exploration of ideas, a challenge to our perceptions, and an invitation to continue questioning the world around us. It's been a pleasure to share this journey with you. and I hope it has sparked some intriguing thoughts and perspectives. We value your insights and would love to hear your thoughts on the topics we've discussed. Feel free to share your perspectives and interpretations in the comments section. Your input enriches our collective understanding, and there's always something new to learn from each other. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content like this. Remember, the more we grow, the more we can delve into the mysteries of the universe together. Thank you for watching, and keep questioning.